Hi guys! Today I want to share some information about daycare and how it works here in Canada. Let me remind you that we live in GTA, it's a Greater Toronto Area, Ontario province in Canada. So I want to start with general information and here you're not allowed to leave kids alone unsupervised until they are of age 12. It was very weird to me as we came from Ukraine, it's Eastern Europe, and actually we don't have such rules there, and you can leave kids alone, or they can, I don't know, like they can go and play by themselves. And when I was little, we were me and my friends, we were going somewhere else like by ourselves, and no one was supervising us. So when we came here, it was a little bit weird because you cannot leave them at all at home, in the car, like you just can't leave them. So this is the rule, and very serious rule. So that's why daycare here and babysitting is a huge part of Canadian lifestyle. And in general, daycare is very expensive here. Cost would be approximately between 1,000 and 2,000 a month, depending on the age of kids. And I know that for babies they charge more. When we just started daycare, when our kids were little, now they're 4 and almost 6. So when they were little, our youngest was only 2 months old, and charge for her daycare was $760 a week. And for oldest one, she was 2 at this time, it was a little bit cheaper. It was probably around $400 a week. It was pretty expensive daycare. So can you imagine if we have at least 4 weeks a month, or sometimes we have even 5 weeks? So in general, it's pretty expensive. I should say that we have 2 different types of daycare. One of them licensed and one of them unlicensed. What does it mean? Licensed should get license from the government. They always under supervision. Government oversees them and control them, let's say that. Unlicensed, they usually home type of daycare. So let's say I would like to open my own daycare, and I can do it technically, but there are few moments and there are few regulations. Of course, government keep eye on them as well, but it's easier because I have to just pass courses and actually that's it. But there are few rules. Let's say I cannot have more than certain amount of kids of certain age. So in this case, some people like they trying to get some money, right? That's why they open daycare, and they trying to get as many kids as they can. So in this case, they can get more money. Usually, home daycares, prices for home daycares are much cheaper. Sometimes that could be even less than 1,000 a month, but approximately it's 1,000 and 1,200 a month. So which is almost double cheaper than in regular licensed daycares. But again, no one can guarantee like that everything would be fine there. So it's absolutely your responsibility. The other daycare, licensed daycare, they have 2 different types of them as well. It's like smaller home-based daycare. So see, they could be licensed home daycare. So in this case, you have to find out if they have license, and you can ask all these questions. And more like larger one, like centers, daycare centers they call them. Also, some family consider babysitting options, so they can hire a person like adult or even teenager to babysit their kids for full-time or even part-time, like few hours. Usually why you need babysitting? When you have a child before age of 4, because officially at age of 4 they can go to school, which is, we call it kindergarten, junior and senior kindergarten. It's like official, to me it's like official daycare from the government. and but it's a school based, but they are they have the same hours as a school, 8 or 9 until around 3 p.m. So you need to find someone who will help you with, if you work in regular hours like 9 to 5, you have to find someone who can help you in the morning and at night to pick up your kids. So it could be daycare or it could be a private babysitter. Some people here in Canada with decent income, and if they can afford, they can also invite family or friends from back home country, or they can hire a person. They can help them to get visa, and they can have someone to live with them and take care of kids or other family members who need some help. And another option, you can invite your parents, you can open them 10 years visa and you can invite them here. They will help you to babysit. So there are the major options for babysitting, but we want to talk more about daycare, and we want to explain how it works here in Canada. So as I mentioned already, daycares are pretty expensive here, and what should you do? Especially for newcomers, it is expensive, guys. I've been there, I know how it is. And let's say you even found a job and you got pregnant, so you need someone to take care of your child. So what can you do? There are a few options. You can apply for government support. We call it subsidy here. So what is that subsidy? Subsidy is you can officially apply for the help from government, and they will not help you, they will pay your bills, they will pay directly to daycare for your child if you're eligible. So how you can find out? There are some links, we'll share with you these links. So you have to fill out your tax income, and if your income is pretty minimum or even less, you will be eligible, of course. If you have a higher income, sometimes you have to wait, and sometimes you might be not even eligible for this daycare. So in this case, be very careful, and let's say if you just came here and you know that you want to go to get some education or you want to find some job, it's better to apply as soon as possible, and it will be very helpful. Even if you won't use it in the future, it's better to skip your line. But sometimes people are waiting, there are waiting lists, and sometimes people are waiting for a few years, and sometimes it's too late because your child was 2 and now he's already 4, so it's time to go to school. You don't need daycare anymore. So you have to remember, the less income you have, the more chances to get this help and this subsidy you have. And again, how it works. It doesn't mean that government will pay full amount for childcare support in daycare, but they will pay the most of the expenses. So let's say you have to pay $2,500 a month for one child. We're talking about one child right now. So in this case, if you're eligible for subsidy, they can pay some certain percentage. Again, I cannot tell you how much. I cannot tell you, they pay an 80% and you pay the rest 20, or 90-10, or 70-30. There is no such a rule. But when you're going to visit specialist, and they will get all information, your tax income, your all information about your expenses as well. So they have to put all this information in their own system. I don't have access to the system, so I don't know how it works. And then they'll give you the numbers. When we just came here, our first daughter Emma, she was born here, and I was trying to find job, and it wasn't easy, and I was at home with her. And then I got pregnant second time, and I was looking for job, and actually I even found job, but and I was working while I was pregnant. But to get back to work, you have to send kids to daycare, and I had 2 of them. So we applied for subsidy, and our income at this time was around 24,000 a year, which it was low income, but we were newcomers, so it was okay. And we got subsidy for probably less than 2 months, which was like miracle for us, and I was able to go back to work. And in this case, when we just applied, we were paying about $1 a month for both kids, and the rest, as I told you, it was pretty expensive, because only for baby it was like $700 a week. So government was paying and was covering completely, and we were paying just like peanuts, like really. It was probably like $50 a month, or maybe even less. So it was $1 and something. But when we got more income, we should pay more money. And even right now, we still have subsidy. Our income is much bigger right now, but how it works, we still have a subsidy, and government paying only part of these expenses, but the rest of it we are paying. So now, of course, we have to pay more, but we're not paying full amount, which is great, which is helpful as well. So this is how it works. And also there are some information, you can even Google it, but if you have a child with special needs, you can also apply. And I don't have much information about this, but I know for sure they have some programs and they can help you. They can finance this, or they can send you to special daycare, because not every daycare can provide special teacher who can work with kids with special needs. So sometimes they have them, but depending on your situation, they can find personal solutions. So in general, my advice would be to apply for subsidy if you need, but if you're a newcomer or you're just planning to come here, you should consider this option, and don't be shy of this. Don't be like, we're paying taxes, right? And these organizations and these funds, they are based on our taxes. So this is one of the forms of support for new immigrants, because I know it's hard to come here and start and pay all these bills, pay higher rent and pay everything, especially pay daycare. And I just want to tell you, can tell, okay, I have older kids and I don't care, I don't need daycare. But remember, you can't leave your kids until age of 12. So if you have kids, even if they go to school and they are like even 11 years old, you cannot leave them alone. So you need to find some solutions. Of course, you can pay $10 or even $15 a month, an hour, for babysitting, for private babysitting. But again, it is expensive. So we, right now, our older daughter, she's going to school, and next year she goes to grade 1, and youngest one, she's going to kindergarten. But we still need before and after school program. So in this case, you have to find someone. To me personally, it's better to send them to daycare, which is in the same building, just separate entrance, and they can get some breakfast there, they can get some snacks after school there as well, and they know teachers, because they in this daycare for probably like 3 years already, and we're very happy. But for some people, it's probably easier to find person who can help you in the morning to drop them off to school, or you can do it by yourself if you have time. We're driving a lot, so we have to leave our house by 7:30 to be at work by 9 a.m. So in this case, school is still closed because they open at 8:30. So for 1 hour, I need someone to take care of them. So for us, it's a great solution to send them to daycare. And the same after school. School ends at 3:30 p.m. daily. And sometimes here in Canada, we have PA days. What does it mean? It's 1 day a month, usually, when teachers, they have like day off. So they can gather together, they can talk about some programs, they can have meetings, or even they can, I don't know, they can be at home. I don't know, honestly. I don't have this information about PA days, but PA day, it's headache for parents, because you have to take day off from your work, or again you have to find someone who can help you. We have no one here. We don't have a parents here, we don't have a families here, we don't have a friends who can take care of them. So for us as a regular newcomers, it is very important to have some proper daycare or babysitter. So this is how it works here, and hopefully this information will be helpful for you. And if you have any questions, you can always ask me, and I'll be happy to help you. Bye now.